Partial ionic character of covalent bond. Like partial covalent character of ionic bond. Here, when the electronegativity difference is less than 2.0, then it forms pure covalent bond or polar covalent bond. And if the electronegativity difference is greater than 2.0, then it forms ionic bonds. Here in the range of 0 to 0.4, it forms pure covalent bond, means non-polar covalent bond. Electrons are equally shared by the two atoms. And when the electronegativity difference increases from 0.4 to 2, it forms polar covalent bond in which the electrons are unequally shared between the two atoms, and they acquire partial negative charge and partial positive charge, as in case of HCl or ICL we have discussed in the last slide. They form the polar covalent bonds. Cl acquires partial negative charge due to higher electronegativity than the hydrogen, and hydrogen acquires partial positive charge. And when the electronegativity difference increases from 2.0 to 4, the electrons are completely transferred to one of the atom, and they acquire complete negative charge and complete positive charge, and the bond formed is called ionic bond. Here the electron transfer occurs when the electronegativity difference increases from 2 to 4. That's why the partial ionic character of covalent bond. It means covalent bond have some partial ionic character. Next is dipole moment. Dipole moment is the product of magnitude of negative or positive charge and the distance between the centers of positive and negative charge. Mathematically, mu is the dipole moment, which is equal to q into d, where q is the negative or positive charge and d is the distance between the centers of positive and negative charges. It is expressed in dBi. Unit dBi. 1 dBi is equal to 10 to the minus 18 ESU. ESU is the electrostatic unit, and centimeter, which is equal to 3.335 into 10 to the minus 30 coulomb meter. This is not centimeter, it is coulomb meter. Coulomb is for charge and meter is for distance between the centers of positive and negative charges. For diatomic molecules like HCl, where H acquires partial positive charge and Cl acquires partial negative charge, this is the direction of dipole moment, and this is towards the Cl partial negative, means more electronegative atom, and each dipole moment has a magnitude as well as direction. Next is for polyatomic molecules. Here the molecules are of two types, symmetrical and unsymmetrical molecules. In case of unsymmetrical molecules, like in case of water, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen and it pulls the electrons of hydrogen towards it, and this arrow shows the dipole moment of the hydrogen, and which is in the direction of oxygen, and the net dipole moment is the sum of the dipole moments of hydrogen, which is not equal to 0. Similarly for the CH3F, in which the fluorine is more electronegative than carbon and hydrogen, and it pulls the electrons towards itself, and the net dipole moment is in the direction of fluorine. And in case of symmetrical molecules like carbon dioxide, here these two dipole moments are opposite to each other and cancel the effect of each other. That's why their dipole moment is 0. Similarly, in case of CCl4, these are four uh, Cl negative atoms, partial negative atoms, which pulls the electrons of the bond attached to the carbon in four directions, which are opposite to each other, and they cancel the effect of each other, and that's why its dipole moment is zero. Similarly, other symmetrical molecules like BeF2, CS2, BF3, CH4, etc. They all have dipole moment zero. Next is a comparison of dipole moment of NH3 and NF3. In case of NH3, nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen, and it pulls the electrons of hydrogen towards itself, and the net dipole moment is in the direction of lone pair of nitrogen. It means all the dipole moments of hydrogen added to the dipole moment of nitrogen. And in case of NF3, fluorine is more electronegative than nitrogen, and it pulls the electrons of the nitrogen bond towards itself, and that's why there is net dipole moment which is in the direction of fluorine, not in the direction of lone pairs. And this is the decrease in dipole moment because fluorine pulls the electrons towards itself. That's why its value is decreased. Mu is equal to 0.24 dBi. But in case of NH3, it is 1.46 dBi because here the dipole moments of the hydrogen is added to the dipole moment of the nitrogen. But here it is subtracted from the dipole moment of the nitrogen and it decreases. Next is the applications of dipole moment. First one is in determining the polarity of the bonds. More the dipole moment, more polar is the bond. For example, as in case of HF, HCl, HBr and HI. As the electronegativity decreases, polarity also decreases. F is more electronegative than chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. As we move from fluorine to iodine, electronegativity decreases and hence the polarity of the bond decreases in this order. HF to HCl, then HBr, then HI. Next, it is used in calculation of percentage ionic character. To what extent the covalent bond is ionic. And next, it is used in determining the symmetry of the molecules. When the dipole moment is zero, it means the molecule is symmetrical. When the dipole moment is not zero, it means the molecule is unsymmetrical. For example, in carbon dioxide, dipole moment it is zero, it means it is symmetrical. But in case of water, it is unsymmetrical and it has net dipole moment. Next is it is to distinguish between cis and trans isomers. Cis isomers are those in which the same atoms are attached to the same side of the carbon, like in case of 1,2-dichloroethylene, in which these are two carbon which are bonded with the double bonds, and these are two chlorine atoms which are bonded to the same side of the carbon-carbon double bond, and this isomer is called cis isomer. And in case of trans isomer, when the chlorine atoms are opposite to the carbon-carbon double bond, then this is called the trans isomer. In case of trans isomers, the net dipole moment is zero because the dipole moment of chlorine, chlorine and hydrogen, hydrogen are in opposite to each other and they cancel the effect of each other. That's why their dipole moment is zero. But in case of cis isomer, it has a net dipole moment because chlorine are on the same side, and the net dipole moment is addition of the dipole moment of the chlorine and hydrogen. That's why it has net dipole moment. And dipole moment is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude as well as direction. Next application is to distinguish between ortho, para and meta isomers. This is an example of dichlorobenzene, in which chlorine atom is attached to the benzene ring at two different positions. When it is attached to 1 and 2 position, this 2 position is called the ortho position, and when with respect to this first chlorine atom, and when it is attached to the third position, then this third position is called the meta position, and the isomer is called meta isomer, and this is with respect to this first chlorine atom. And when chlorine is attached to the fourth position, then this fourth position is called the para position. Similarly, fifth position is called the meta position, 6 is ortho position. Here it is 1,2 or ortho dichlorobenzene, it is 1,3 or meta dichlorobenzene, or it is 1,4 or para dichlorobenzene. In case of para dichlorobenzene, net dipole moment is 0 because chlorine atoms are attached to opposite side of the benzene, and that their net dipole moment is in opposite direction, and they cancel the effect of each other. That's why their dipole moment is 0. But in case of meta dichlorobenzene, they have at some angles, and they add up to getting net dipole moment. Similarly, in case of 1,2 or ortho dichlorobenzene, it has the highest in these three molecules or compounds because they are close to each other, and their dipole moment adds to get more dipole moment, net dipole moment, that is 2.30 dBi as compared to meta dichlorobenzene and para dichlorobenzene.